Alright gang, welcome back to our competitive one-tile challenge here on Farmlands. It is January. There's not going to be really a ton for us to do today. As a matter of fact, there's not going to be a ton for us to do really in the next month either. We are now in the winter month period, so it's just more of a, going and selling some things that can be sold. Evidently I did not pick that up properly, so that went well already. But selling some things that can be sold and then maybe trying to, fix a couple things within the yard, and then kind of go from there, right? Maybe add a few things as well, depending on what kind of money we end up gaining out of all of this. But nonetheless, here we are. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. I made a tiny bit of a mistake from the last episode to this one. I thought I turned the methane auto-selling off. I did not do that, although as you can see, we really didn't change that much as far as the amount of money that we got from the methane, just because, well, realistically, we don't make a ton of methane off, the silage. We make more in the electric charge than really anything, and that has not been sold yet, neither has the digestate. So we're going to look at that here in just a second. I'm just going to try to get this last pallet here. I am a little rusty. I was out of town for a couple of days. I kind of... I'm a little groggy today. I'm a little tired, so bear with me. I apologize, but we will get there. Now, I do want to go ahead and flip this to selling before 9 o'clock. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So just bear with me for a second here. We're going to go into here, and we're going to turn the electric charge onto selling. I'm not going to turn the digestate onto selling just yet, but as you can see, we have 346,941 liters of electric charge. It's going to make us a lot of money when 9 o'clock hits. A lot of money, right? Now, do I have that on? I don't. I do now. I had the methane auto selling. It was an accident. Shouldn't have done that, but anyway, it was there, so it is what it is. There's no methane in there right now. We have already moved, I believe, everything we can move from the perspective of the grass into it. We have. And there you go. 9 o'clock just hit. We went from like 57,000 to 166,000 in a matter of seconds. I'm telling you guys, that was one of the smartest things I did, was adding that BGA. It is going to help us so much. We are going to make, well, we already are, but we're making a ton of money off of that. That is a huge advantage for us having that, because the guys don't have that yet, right? So that is big, big. So I'm going to try to stack these a little bit here, just because we have a couple of things we want to go and sell, and I would like to get them all on here. Now, it's not a ton of things by any means, but we have a couple things nonetheless. Specifically, we've got these crickets, which we've already stacking up here poorly. Then we've got the aged goat cheese, which is actually best to sell today. Evidently, that is, for some reason, not sure why. Okay, this is going really well. Okay, you know what? Great. We're just going to sit it there. So the decision needs to be made now on what we're going to do here. More specifically, what are we going to do with this money, right? So, I'm sure you briefly saw it in the used market. There is a grape harvester out there. Now, we haven't done anything with grapes yet. At some point, I think grapes would be fun to do. I think there's some good money to be made there off the grapes as well. Obviously, has to work out in our favor for that to actually happen, because we'd have to buy a lot of other equipment as well. So, while I kind of want to buy that right now, I don't think it really is the smartest thing for us to buy. There are some other things that we're going to attempt to do today, which I think are going to be smarter. One of those, man, I am doing a terrible job here. I told you guys, I'm rusty. It's been like 6 days since I've played this game. Well, 5 days, I guess, since I played this game. So I'm a little rusty, so just bear with me here. But no pun intended, not poor Rusty over there. But anyway, there are some things I want to do with this money. One of those things I've talked about in the past, and we'll kind of figure out if we're going to do that later on today or not. But I've talked about it in the past, and it has something to do with the digestate, which will produce, in theory, even more money for us. The digestate, as we know, I've showed that to you really last episode, right? You don't make a ton of money off of that digestate. You really don't. It's like $40 or $50 per 1,000 liters. Not really much at all. Not really worth it, you know what I mean? The money maker really is the methane, which, again, we don't make a ton of that methane. And then, obviously, the electric charge is a huge money maker, as you can clearly tell. We have a ton of money right now. I'd like to do something with the digestate that produces a little bit more money for us, so it actually makes it worth it a little more. Now, having said that, you will need to understand, and I'm sure you do, that while we are going to be able to do something with that digestate, it's going to take a lot of that digestate to even make a little bit of what we're going to end up turning it into. It's pretty obvious. I'm sure it was obvious last time when I was talking about it already, what I'm talking about, but, you know, we'll leave it at that for right now. We'll leave it at that, and we'll see what we get into later today. So how are you guys doing, man? It feels like I haven't talked to you guys in forever, although, as mentioned for all of you, it's not going to feel like that, right? You had an episode, well, pretty much leading up every single day. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to get one out for Wednesday. I'm actually recording this Tuesday night with the guys like we normally do. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it out, a video out Wednesday, I should say, or not. Pretty tired right now, so we'll see how this episode goes, and we might even just end up doing a second episode just because it's the winter months. Who knows? We will see what we do tonight. But it's just going to depend on how long we decide to record together or not. If I don't get one, then that's the reason why, although it would have been in the past at this point. You get what I mean. This is the grape harvester I was talking about, $105,000, so it'll take up a good chunk of the money that we have, right? There's also this planter, which pretty sure was Crustu's planter, that we could potentially buy. I don't think we specifically need it right now, and it's not the widest width. Not that there's anything wrong with the 2.3 meters. We could absolutely work with that. But what I kind of want to do, watch out, sheeper. What I kind of want to do, really, I'd like to have a bigger one, and to do that, we'd also need a bigger tractor. Also, move some things around. You can see the go-karts up on top of the little house and molasses building that we've got there, or marmalade, sorry. Where are we selling these at? I'm just driving, acting like I know where I'm selling them at. This has been a rough start here. Z, get it together, buddy. Okay, so aged goat cheese. Technically, it's February. I swear when I looked in the last month, it was going to be now. But if you look at the price here, there are some really good prices here. So I'm not that concerned. It may not even get to 8,859, right? The average best price is 8,698. So it may not even get there, right? So we're going to go sell it. My sell-all is 8,733, which is not bad. But the big farmer's kiosk is a little bit better, so we're going to go sell that there. And then we've got the crickets, which, let's make sure I don't skip through them. I always go right past them. And that, to me, looks like we're going to the farmer's market. So we've got the farmer's market, and we've got the big farmer's kiosk. So the big farmer's kiosk is which one? It's this one, okay. And then the farmer's market, which should be in here too, is the main one. Okay. All right, so the big farmer's market is where we're going for the aged goat cheese. So we'll take that there. Now, I'm probably going to have to utilize the forklift here, unless we decide to go ahead and buy the tractor now, or a tractor now. It doesn't necessarily have to be the tractor we talked about in the last episode. Speaking of that, we did install some new mods. I won't really go through them. You'll see them eventually. Well, one of us will put something down eventually. Most of them are not something that we're going to utilize anytime soon of any sort. You know, but you never know. We installed some tractors, a couple other things, really, just minor stuff, nothing major. So we will see. I'm tempted. You know what? Like I said, we're gonna bring this back to the main shop here, because this is likely. I'm likely gonna buy a tractor with some of this money. I would love to have a second tractor at this point. I think it's time. So having said that and knowing that, yeah, let's bring this back here, and then we can go and bring it to its rightful position, and then we won't be borrowing it anymore, which I'm sure will make the guys all happy, because they love making fun of me for borrowing it. But hey, it was there. All of us have the access to it, so I was going to use it. But in theory, having our own, right? Whether it's a front loader on the tractor, which is really the approach we're probably going to go with, or forklift of our own, I guess, either way. You know, it's going to be a little more convenient for us, right? What it also means is, what I'm more than likely going to do today, make a lot of changes. Now, it might not be like, well, I shouldn't say that. What we're more than likely going to do over the next 2 episodes, over the winter months, January, February, that's how I should have worded it, is make some changes. More specifically, I'm talking along the lines of maybe the mowing situation along with the baling situation. Nothing wrong with what we have there. There are some other bales we can get, some round bales or square bales, a little more realistic. I'd like to do those. A couple reasons why I'd like to do those. One, now that we kind of have the distribution going on with all of the silage, we don't really need all the trailers that we had where we're running them up to the store. We have that nice one we got in the used market, right? And I'd like to kind of keep that one. I've already modified this one back to a flatbed. So what it does mean is if we go the approach of changing the grass setup a bit, we can sell the other trailer, the auto load trailer. We can sell that one and utilize this as our flatbed trailer for the moving forward. We can't get rid of this trailer, right? It's part of the rules. So we might as well try to utilize it to our advantage. And I think it's best utilized in the situation that it's in now, which is a flatbed, right? So I'm taking these to the right place, right? Yeah, big farmer's market. Yes, I am. Okay. So let's sell these. This should be decent money, gang. This should be like 20 grand right here. Yeah, a little over that. That's fantastic. Gosh, we have so much money. Those guys are going to be so pissed when they see how much money we have. Oh, it's glorious. I love it. 187,833, and it's going to go higher. And we're probably just going to be slightly over 190 by the time we sell these, but still. And we have all the pumpkins that we haven't been selling. We're storing those right now. We got all the clothes. And we still have the digestate, like I talked about, right? Which is going to more than likely come to fruition here later on. If it doesn't come to fruition today for some reason, one reason or another, it will come to fruition in the next episode in the winter months, right? It really depends on how long it takes us to do all this stuff. We're buying tractors, we're buying all kinds of stuff today. We're going to be buying all kinds of stuff today, I should say. So it really depends on all of that. So there it goes. I was going to say, I swear I've sold that there before. $191,199. Man, I love this, gang. We have got so much money. This is awesome. Awesome. I can't wait for them to jump in there and look and see how much money we have in comparison to them. It's not even close. It's not even close. Those of you that said I wasn't going to win, I'm thinking we're pulling ahead here a bit now, right? We might also spend a little bit of this money on some of the loan too, paying off some more of the loan, right? But I think we're pulling ahead. I do. I really do. And we're not even done, man. We're not even done. So we're going to drive this back here, and then I'm going to take the forklift. I'm actually going to go put it back in its rightful position, as I mentioned. And then we're going to look at a tractor. We're going to see what we decide to do there. But we're definitely going to be getting one of those today, and I'm going to be showing it off and rubbing it in their faces, just like they do to me. Whenever they buy something, they always like to drive it over here and rub it in my face. I did it to them first, to be fair, but it's been kind of a thing, right? When I bought this harvester, they were mad about that. And I'm going to have probably the best... Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. We don't know for sure which one we're getting yet, but I'll probably have one of, if not the best tractor that all three of us have right now. Rusty has upgraded. I'm not sure if Crustu got another one. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick peek. I'm not sure if he got another one yet or not, because remember he had one, then he sold it. I don't think he has, but I could be wrong. There's Rusty's tractor he got, which is a nice tractor. Don't get me wrong. Where is Crustu at? I don't know where he is. Oh, there he is. Nope, he's still got the same one. So he hasn't made the upgrade yet. So, woo! I was just driving along, having a good time, thinking we had plenty of time. We did not. All right, so this is going to go back where it belongs, and we're going to look at tractors right now. Now, one thing we do have to do today, which I didn't mention yet, and I probably should have early on, is we do need to do a second application, well, I guess an application of fertilizer on the grass field that we mowed in the last episode. Unfortunately, the grass right now does not appear like it's mowing, like it's growing right now. I thought maybe since we were on precision farming, and I've been doing pretty much nothing but precision farming in all of the other series right now, that maybe it would grow, without precision farming on, but I think seasons are on, so, well, obviously seasons are on, so I don't think in 25 it grows throughout the year, so You know. Anyway. All right, so what tractor are we wanting to buy here, gang? So we were looking before, we were looking at something like this, or maybe one of these. We did install some other, this is some of the ones we installed, this John Deere. Pretty nice, 115 horsepower. Part of me really wants the Stoltzfar, though. I love this thing. 156 horsepower. Do we need 156 horsepower? I don't know, probably not. How much is the one we have now? I always forget how much we have on the one we currently have. Where is it? There it is. It is 85 horsepower. So that would be a significant upgrade for us. There are some smaller versions that we can consider as well. Like this small Stoltzfar here, which has 126 horsepower. I'm not sure in this series if we're going to need more than 126 horsepower for a while. I feel like we're not going to need it. What does that do? Oh, it just lets you do colors, I guess. Do I really want to do that to change the color of the wheels? Do I want to spend extra $500 on that? I don't know, probably not. Do I really care? No, I think it kind of looks good as it is. This might be the one to go with here, gang. It's 126. If we bump the horsepower up, it's only 93. That still gives us damn near $100,000 in the bank account. The thing I want to spend money on later on or next episode, whatever it is, it's about 50 to 55,000. So it would still give us a lot of money. And I've been mentioning time and time again that I like to keep some money in the bank account, even though I lose it a little bit every month with the the interest and the fees and everything. But I like it there for a used market purchase if there's something that pops out, that's within budget. 93. There are some other options, right? There's some other options for us, like this JCB Fast Track would be pretty nice too. It actually has more horsepower than what we were looking at, and it's only 52,000. I don't know, man. I'm really kind of drawn towards this Stoltzfar. I'm really kind of drawn to spend a little bit extra money and get this thing. Wide tires and weights we want. So we're going to be at 98.5. It's a little bit more because we're getting the wide tires and the weights, but I think we need that. $1,000 for a fender. I don't know. I kind of want it, but at the same time, what is this? Basic animations and full animations. What is that? Maybe I can open up. I think this is an actual tractor where you can open up the hood. I think that's what it is. It doesn't cost us anything. We'll leave it on. Let's get the front loader. I guess we'll go with the quickie. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. It's $100,000. It's going to give us 91,000. It's $100,000. It's a lot of options we're adding onto this. Do we need all 143 horsepower of this? I feel like we don't. And if we do, we can make the upgrade later. It's not like we can't go back here and spend the 8,500 later on, right? I think we don't make the upgrade for the engine. I think we just go with it. 126 horsepower, that's 50 more than what we have. Around 50 more than what we have. And it's going to be able to do everything we want it to do. And that 8,000 is what we can spend on the front loader. We own it, gang. We own it. All right, so we need a front loader here. It's got a quickie front loader. We want. I mean, I guess this one's going to have to do. And then we want a pallet fork. Yeah, let's go with this one. Now, some of those grass things I was talking about, I don't think those are going to happen today. They will happen soon, but I don't think they're going to happen today. Now, we're going to go show this thing off. We're going to go talk some smack a little bit. This thing goes 32 miles per hour. This is going to make our life so much easier, having this thing. And then we have the other one that we can utilize for a worker whenever the time comes when we are super busy. And there will be a time when that happens, right? Oh, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at this thing. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, look how fast it is. Oh, we are cruising, baby. We are cruising. All right, where are they? Where are they? They need to know. They need to see some smack talk here. They need to. I'm just gonna blare the horn at them and make them all upset. All right, hold on a second. That's exactly what I was doing, and it wasn't working. I was like, maybe the horn's a different one. That's exactly what I was doing. There it goes. I don't know what was going on before. All right, let's brag a little bit here. Yeah, I think you saw it. Now we got to go brag to Crestu. Crestu's been having to do a ton of runs for his little tree thing that he's got. It's very nice, but I don't know if you saw it or not. He didn't make any movement of any sort. Oh, it's fun. All right, so let's head back, and what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the fertilizer spreader. We're going to get that field spread with some fertilizer, and yeah. Spent probably a little bit more money than we had to spend, but that's okay. I wanted this. I like it. I'm very happy with it. And it puts us in a good spot. Puts us in a really good spot. Now we're able to do our own thing without having to borrow anything, right? So I'm just going to drop the front loader off right here. We don't really need that yet. And it has a lot more options, so I do think what I said was correct. I think it does allow us to open up the hood. Well, maybe we'll look at that a little bit later on. I'm not too concerned about it right now, to be fair, but maybe later on we'll look at that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, well, that's going to be a problem. Oh, that shed is turning into a nightmare for all of us, and I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that forced it upon all of us. Same with the tractor. Same with the trailer. But that's okay. Alright, so this is the field right here. We need to put some fertilizer down on this field, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, so let's talk about... So I was out of town for the weekend. Just kind of a whim thing that my wife and I decided to pop on down to Orlando for a couple of days. So my wife's sister is a travel agent, found us a fantastic deal. As I've mentioned a couple of times in other series, if you don't watch this one or whatever, you know, work's been a bit brutal lately. I feel like I say it a lot, but it's just the truth. I am... real life, in case you don't know, I am in the project management realm. So, if you do know about that world, you'll know everything that you need to know. If you don't know about that world, really, what it is when things are going really, really bad, which they are right now, I get the brunt of everyone screaming and yelling. Regardless if it's my fault or not, I get the brunt of it. When things are going well, you know, obviously, I get a bit of more of the kudos when things are going well. Things right now at work are not going well. I mentioned before that we ended up letting somebody go who I've known for pretty much my entire professional career. We've been kind of bouncing around from job to job together, if you will, over the years. And I say job to job like we were at a lot of jobs, and 3 jobs, you know, not a ton of jobs. So anyway, that happened, and then, you know, it just worked. Everything just kind of piled on. So we got the opportunity to pop down to Orlando for a couple of days and decided to go ahead and take that opportunity and do so. So that's what we did. So, you know, I'm a little jet-lagged from that. We didn't actually get home in bed at all last night until about 3 p.m. Or 3 p.m. 3 a.m. 3 p.m. 3 p.m. would have been fantastic. Wish it was 3 p.m. 3 a.m. And then I woke up a little bit earlier than I would probably want to, having you know, the fact that we got in bed at 3. I was up and moving around by 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. I was supposed to work today. I ended up working. I just decided to work a half day, though, so I called off this morning for a half day, basically, because we didn't get to bed till 3 o'clock, and I was just exhausted. So I've been exhausted all day, so that's part of the reason why the beginning was rough with picking up those pallets. But the other part is because I'm a little rusty. It's been a couple days, like I mentioned, but anyway, it was a fun trip. It didn't end up being as fun as we expected it to be, because the mistake we made, which we didn't realize, is that this last weekend, and I guess this week in general, is a holiday for the northeastern part. Well, it's like a mini spring break, I guess, if you will, for the northeastern part of the United States. Did not know that, so it was extremely busy down there. Which normally, if we go, we do like to go in January and February down there, because it's normally dead, right? That's what we like. We like going places when it's dead. Was not the case this time, so it was fine. You know, we got through it, and we still had fun. It just was not kind of what we had expected, if you will. But otherwise, still a great time. And I was happy I was able to get away for a couple of days. It's very nice. It's a luxury to be able to do that. Not everyone can do that quickly like we did, right? So, probably also helps a little bit, just, you know, given the situation that we are in, right? We don't have, you know, kids to worry about or anything like that, right? So we can just kind of pop around whenever we want to, go anywhere. If we want to just do a last-minute quick weekend vacation, a long weekend vacation, which is what we did. So anyway, yeah, there was a bunch of flights. Ours seemed to be relatively okay, but there was a bunch of flights that were canceled because there is a massive snowstorm that kind of hit the East Coast there. But we were relatively lucky with ours. So the grass field has been fertilized. That is all complete. We have sold everything that we can sell today. Now we obviously could, in theory, sell the clothes and sell the marmalade, but again, the price is not great for those right now. So we're not going to sell that today. What we are, I think, going to do, you know, I don't know, man. I kind of feel like perhaps maybe I should wait and do what I was planning to do with the digestate for the next episode, just because we bought this tractor today. This is going to be a shorter episode, for sure. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is not going to be a long episode. It's really not. Many reasons for that. One of which is the fact that there's not a ton for us to do, right? There's just simply not a ton for us to do. So I think, although I kind of teased it a bit, since we went with the buying the tractor approach here, I think, personally, I am going to say we hold off until the next month. It won't really matter. All it's going to matter is we're not, you know, where we're not going to see any of the money from what I'm planning on putting down for a little bit longer, right? From the digestate, I should say. We're just going to have to store the digestate for a little bit longer, which, again, not really that big of a deal. A couple other things to look at. Quick autosave here. We got to look at the animals, see how they're doing. Okay, so the sheeps, they have ran out of grass now as well, but they still have meadow grass, so they're still fine. The chickens, they still have enough food. We could probably move a little bit more of that food over there, but they still have enough food. The goats, however, they still have no food, and the meadow grass is starting to get a little bit dangerously low. So I'm a little concerned with them, that we're going to run out of grass for them. Because I think they just reproduced, they did. 25 more goats were just baby goats are in there. So I'm a little concerned there, especially the fact that the grass is not growing. But, you know, what are you going to do? There's not much we can do about it at this point, right? So we'd have to go buy a bale of grass, I guess, is what we'll end up having to do if we need to. They should be good, though, in theory, I think, for at least one more episode. So there's a little bit of hope there. Very slim, but there is a little bit of hope there. Couple other things I want to potentially do. This is just kind of more as a brag to all of them. It's probably a waste of money, but we can look at it. There is a mod that I installed, one of the mods that we installed that I talked about. It it's basically like a lift, if you will, and you can put a tractor on it and raise the tractor into the air and like show it off. Now, really, the reason why I installed that is because eventually, this is a long time from now, when we have more than 2 tractors, we'll have a third probably at some point, right? I probably won't be utilizing that Mercedes-Benz anymore. I think all of us are kind of sick and tired of it. It's just a struggle to use, right? When that time comes, I'll just prop up the Mercedes-Benz on that and kind of just, utilize that as a bit of a lawn ornament, if you will. I don't know what it's under. I kind of want to look. I don't know what it's under. Maybe under tools. No, it's not under tools. I don't know what it's under, but we'll figure that out. What I will show you right now quickly is what I'm going to be doing in the next episode, so you're aware. We are going to be putting this down. It's a fertilizer plant. What this basically does, and this is going to make us buku money. This is going to allow us to put digestate in here and turn that digestate into solid fertilizer. Not only is that going to save us an absolute boatload of money when it comes to having to buy fertilizer for all these fields, right? We're not going to have to buy any solid fertilizer. We can utilize it from here directly. But if we end up getting a ton of it, like a surplus, we can go sell it, right? And we will have a surplus at some point. We can go sell it. And solid fertilizer is a lot more money than digestate. Just to give you kind of a ballpark of what I'm talking about here. Let me just show you. This is going to be the easiest way to do it. So digestate, at best, at the average best, you're going to get 37. Looks like right now we could get 38 at my sell-all. 37, average best you're going to get. Solid fertilizer, on the other hand, at 1,000 liters, right? So remember that, 37, 38 bucks. 37, 38 bucks. Solid fertilizer. Look at this, gang. Look, when you see this, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you are a genius. $1,613 per 1,000 liters. Like I said, it takes a lot of digestate to make some solid fertilizer, but that is my golden goal, if you will. I'm going to say that too in case any of the Canadians are watching. I know, Krusty, you eventually will watch this. Good job, USA. Oh, man. That's what we're going to do. Now, as far as where I'm going to put it, this is the problem, right? This is what I'm probably going to have to do maybe a little bit today and a lot probably in the next episode is maybe blow a little bit of the money that we've made here and try to rework a little bit of this area. I said it from the beginning, very beginning, first couple of episodes, I said, I'm putting this stuff down and there's a high chance that later on I'm going to have to move it. And I think we're going to have to, right? Eventually, we will likely expand this out and there's a chance that we might add some of these things in some of the areas we already have. But right now, we kind of have to work with this and I guess we could take away a little bit of the grass field potentially, but we really kind of need to work with this. What I'm thinking about doing, because we have this now going to be on complete, it's going to be, set up completely to do distribution, right? The BGA, or just straight up selling. I'm thinking about taking our shed and putting it right here. Why might I do that? Well, I'm also thinking about selling this, and honestly selling this, and then utilizing this space that we're going to open up here and putting something else here. I don't know for sure if it's going to fit. I'm not going to give anything else away there besides that, but there is a plan in motion potentially to do a bit of changing and a bit of moving here. Now, I will likely re-put down the buying point. I will likely do that. I just think we need to put it in a different location at this point. I think it's kind of in a bad spot, personally. Since I put the BGA here, I thought it was going to be okay, but really, there's just so much wasted space here. And what I would like to do personally is, let me get to the greenhouses here. Is maybe add a few more of the. Don't sell that. Maybe add a few more of these, like in here, right? I don't know. Maybe it depends on if what I have planned here that kind of is an L shape will fit here or not. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. If not, we'll figure something else out. The other thing I talked about doing with these, or thought about doing with these, basically I'm just kind of telling you what my plans are here for the most part, because I really don't have anything else to do today. We're done. We have nothing else we can do. We can't mow this grass. It's just, we're waiting, right? We're in a waiting stage right now. We've got these corners here, right? Now I probably could fix them and add some more grass there, but what if, because the pickle production, the prickly pear cactus, since the production of actually making them is so slow, what if we add one or two more up here in the corners? These are areas that really aren't being utilized. Now we kind of mow it, right? But it's just, meadow grass, if you will. It's not even our own grass. But what if I add some of these up here in the corner? It's not really going to take away much of any of the grass field we put in, and it's going to help increase the ability for us to be able to get that marmalade going a little bit faster, right? We need that to go faster because it's a decent money. It can make us a decent amount of money. I think we're going to start with this one. We're going to see how it goes. I'm not going to do the other corner yet. We'll see how this goes, but I think I'm going to add this one here. All right, it is there. Now, we might struggle a bit to get the grass up here. I don't know. But we've got that down now. That's our little corner ornament, if you will. Now, we do need to move some water over to that, so we can go ahead and do that now. Another thing we might want to consider here soon is upgrading that the water tank here to a bigger one, right? There's nothing wrong with it, but having a bigger water tank is probably going to be beneficial to us here pretty quickly. We're going to start dumping this water here right now. Won't have any kind of a time lapse in this episode. I know we're 36 minutes. I mean, you guys let me ramble for 36 minutes, although I did screw up at the beginning a little bit. I guess that's part of it, but yeah, there won't be a time lapse at this point. We've just been selling stuff. We've sold the stuff we needed to sell today. Storing the pumpkins for the time being right now. There's no reason to sell those until they're best to sell. We don't really need the money specifically, as mentioned. The crickets is full. The pumpkins is now full, so we'll go ahead and fill this thing back up again. And we'll go and move more water over to here. And we want to turn this on to distributing. Turn it on. Boom. That's on distributing. Good. And we need to move some water to really both the cactuses at this point. And what we end up doing is, if this works out well, which I think it's going to, but if it works out well, what we might end up doing here is actually removing this prickly pear cactus. So that opens up the room right there for a little bit more, right? And then maybe just move those to the corners like I just showed you, right? If it works out well, which I think it's going to, that might be what we end up doing, because that's going to save us a little bit more space, give us a little bit more room to work with in here, because as I mentioned, I want to add quite a few more productions in here, and to do that, we need more room, right? So that's going to offer us that ability to do so. Now, our sell point that we put down, we really put that sell point down specifically for trying to sell the methane and the digestate and the electric charge. Knowing what we know now, I don't necessarily know if we need that sell point any longer, although I don't think it's going to really hurt right now, but maybe later on if we need the room, maybe we consider selling it and gaining a little bit of that money back. Certainly not going to be a ton of money coming back that way. It's not a very expensive sell point. I think it's like $1,000, but you get the point, right? You get the point. So hopefully, evidently, that needed more water. Really interesting. Okay, well, why is this not accepting any more water? What? Why is it not accepting further water? Isn't that weird? Did I go too far, maybe? I guess I could be. I guess it could be a very small window for me to be able to dump the water into here. No, it's not. Uh-oh. Wonder if I'm too close to the edge. So I know in the last episode... Alright, maybe that's what it was. It just keeps stopping, though. And the last episode, or maybe it was 2 episodes ago now, I actually kind of forget now, but I do know that Rusty was having some issues over here. He was putting in, you can actually see it from here. If I drive over here, you'll see it easily. He was putting in a field right here, right? And he got a little bit too close to the edge. You can clearly see where he painted, right? And it was not allowing his worker to do any of the work. It was saying cannot find field, and that's because he got a little bit too close. Oh, we just made $39 off of that. That is not fair. I will take $39 out of my account. That is not fair. We are not doing that. Okay. Transfer money to farm. $39. You know what? I'm just going to transfer 100. I can't do any less than that. It's fine. We lost a little bit of money in that, but that was my fault. I accidentally sold that. I shouldn't have sold that. That was not on purpose. So anyway, I don't know what's going on with these Piggly Pear productions. I don't understand why they're not accepting more water. Maybe they're glitched or something. Maybe there's a mod that's having issues here. I really don't know what to expect here, but they are clearly not having a good time with what we've done here. Well, maybe what I should do eventually is if we do decide to do any kind of an upgrade and I spend the extra money to change the colors, then we can try to match it to our, the theme of what we've got going on here. Maybe that's something we can try to do. Okay, did that fill it up? No. What is happening here? Why is it acting like that? Did anybody have this issue? Is it just me? Very bizarre, that. Weird, weird, weird. Maybe I have things too close together. I do like to do that often. That could be part of the problem. I don't know. I did see a comment, and I haven't replied to it yet. I apologize. The comments that I did, briefly read and skim through was when I was gone. But I did see somebody also say something about what just happened, right? Where I might accidentally drive through some of the sell points and stuff. And you're right, I did it, but it wasn't even my sell point. It wasn't even on my land. I did it on Rusty's. Well, we got it there somehow. I don't understand what was going on with that, but whatever. All right. Got to fill this up here, and we'll get that last cactus filled up. Really, maybe I should put down the other one, but I think I'm going to hold off. I think I'm going to hold off, as I mentioned. I want to see how this goes. I want to see how much it's producing. I don't want it to be too overpowered. I don't think it will be. I mean, the actual production of making the marmalade certainly is not overpowered. It's very slow. Very, very slow indeed. I think it's the slowest thing we got. I don't know. It seems to be working now. I have no idea. Maybe it's because we had it on auto. Well, now it's stopped again. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this thing. That is bizarre. I don't know. At least it doesn't actually require us to fill it up all that often. I guess that's the bonus. Action cannot be performed here, huh? There's a very, very small window right there, isn't it? Oh, that's just ridiculous. I'm never going to get that. Interesting. What I might end up doing is something that I've done in the Zlonka series. So it's the Can You Survive 25 series. I bought a water distributor. Did we did we install? I don't know. We might not even have it installed on this series. If we do, that might be something I look at doing here in the near future, especially with how many productions we've got going on that require water. Right? We've got a lot going right now. A lot going. Now, next month, when the time comes, we are not going to make tons and tons of money next month. We're just not. We don't have any more grass to go into the BGA. The BGA has already chewed through all of the grass that we could. So there's nothing else to give. The only thing for it to give is the digestate, turning it into that fertilizer that we talked about, right? That's the only thing really that we can do there. And then when we make that, in theory, you know, I guess we could sell that solid fertilizer then, right? But it might be more beneficial for us to not sell it then. It might be more beneficial for us to, you know, store it and utilize it for the upcoming season here. I don't know. It's like there's some kind of a glitch issue with the trailer here, because it seems to work fine until it gets down to the last 10-15%. I'll tell you what. I mean, we were just talking about it. We might as well look. What's it under? Generators, maybe? No. Ooh, it might be tools. I don't think we have it installed. I'm probably in the wrong spot for it, but... Ooh, you know what? I know what it is. I know what it is. I know what it is. It's in productions or factories, I think. If we have it installed, which I don't think we do. We don't. We don't. Okay, well... is what it is, I guess. So, with that, we are going to leave the episode at this point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, I'd appreciate it if you smash the like and subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. I cannot thank my members enough. Thank you so much for your continued support. It does mean the world. There is a link down below in the description. If you're interested in that, you do get early access to videos like this one. Make sure you check out my Discord down below. Make sure you check out my second channel down below if you're interested in other games that are not Farming Simulator that I do playthroughs on. Sometimes challenges. Just depends on the situation. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you enjoy and like this new tractor. Let me know your thoughts about my plans and ideas here for December. I think it's going to be a real big bonus for us right there. That's going to save a lot of money. Save us a lot of money. And even if it doesn't save us a ton of money, we're going to make a lot of money off of it. So that's even better. Right? Even better. So, we'll leave it there, gang. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. As always, I really appreciate each and every single one of you. And we'll see you next time.